welcome to another video on Field of Play TV. This is a different one, a special one. Obviously, I got to my right my boy T,
Come on,
as
bro.
always.
Come on, man.
But obviously, I'm not seated in the corner because we got a special guest here today.
Come on.
My boy Gaz.
What's going on, G?
Appreciate it, man. You
Come
good?
on, man.
What's going on, my G?
Thank you for coming through, man.
Appreciate it, man.
So yeah, obviously it's a big one today, and we needed to gather another United sufferer.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you get?
We got him on board because obviously Ten Hag's obviously got appointed. It's now been a month or so.
Yeah.
And we ain't touched on it. We were waiting for it. You've been looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward for this one. Still, I'll be real, for a long time.
Yeah, we're gonna touch on him, what we expect, what we worry about, what we expect him to do, style of play, players coming in, players coming out. So yeah, boys, initially, what were your thoughts? I'll start with you guys. What were your thoughts when you got appointed? Did you want someone else?
Nah. Certainly wanted 10 in, you know. I feel as though, obviously, we're going off the basis of what he's done at Ajax. But then there's also like his work at sort of Bayern under Pep, when he was working with the youth team as well. So he's learnt from the best, firstly. He's kind of from the Ajax school of learning as well, which we'll go into later on, I guess. But the sort of the positional possession type game, and I don't feel as though we've seen that at United. The last time we did was Louis van Gaal, but it was a very I feel as though it was a very boring and slow style. And there was different reasons why LVG didn't work out as well. He didn't necessarily get all the players he wanted. He's also probably a bit outdated, if I'm honest with you. And that's all due respect to the great work he's done in it, like in terms of Holland, and Ajax, and Barca, top coach. So I feel like this is the first time United are going to get an actual coach who's going to coach them in a specific way. That's not a discredit to Jose. Jose has his ways, and those ways didn't necessarily work out. I feel as though this is the first time we've got a positive coach with ideas to take the team forward. So that's my long-winded answer, bro.
Yeah, no, we needed that because I think I'd say we're all happy with him, innit? You're happy with him, Sanch?
Yeah.
Do you know why that laugh was funny? Because it's still I can feel the pessimism.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I've said it to you time and time again. It's just we haven't had that disappointment since obviously Fergie and stuff. It's either Moyes because he was Scottish, and we kind of had the dream scenario of Fergie's successor and hoping for him to be another manager to be here for another 20 years. You get, and then obviously Mourinho was the standout one. Obviously we done it because it's just like a world-class manager. It can't go wrong. Van Gaal was a bit of a weird one because at the time I feel like we could have got. At the time there was Klopp, Pep. So going with that one, obviously he was successful in the past, so that was maybe the reason we were leaning towards a bit more experience after Moyes, and then obviously the club legend. So we haven't really had a Ten Hag. We haven't really appointed a Ten Hag, a manager in his pomp, where his teams are thriving in the now. It was because Mourinho got sacked from Chelsea, and Van Gaal had been a while since he got back. Moyes never done anything. Ole never done anything. So someone who was actually successful. Josh won the league title. So and a style of play, like you said earlier, guys, we ain't really had a gaffer who's had an exciting brand of play.
Or even that was new and fresh with new ideas that's on the come up. Because when you look at all of the managers we've had in the past, from even Ole, because at the end of the day, when we even appointed him, people were questioning Ole's trajectory. How high could he even take us? Even before he even got in the door. Do you know what I mean?
So I was one of them.
Yeah, so it's like, now we actually have a manager that is like, he's on the come up. Because it was either him or Poch, let's be real. And if it was Poch, the same thing would have happened. Question marks going into the season with a manager. Now we all want to get behind Ten Hag. Well, I feel like majority of United fans want to get behind Ten Hag because we have there's no more hope anyways.
Yeah, I think it was interesting, like Gary Neville, whenever United were playing and we would be losing 3 or 4-0 to whoever it was, Brighton, City. Good team, Brighton, by the way. Gary Neville would always mention like the Twitter polls and the polls he would do, like how United fans were so eager for Ten Hag. And that's because United fans are just at the tether end of just like needing something new and something.
Do you get it?
Yeah,
Literally.
and that's why I said
Literally.
it, because it's just something we've not experienced it. We've
Yeah.
not. I'm not comparing him to Pep, but obviously Pep's gone in and turned City upside down into probably the best team in the world.
And even that though.
But because of that style of play, so we've, like I said earlier, we've never had that.
Mm-hmm.
So to have him coming in and know that he's gonna get us ticking, he's gonna get us to actually at least try getting us to play maybe from outside of the back, keeping the ball. Because when was the last time we, on a regular occurrence, just outplayed teams or kept the ball or had 60% of the ball?
Do you know what's mad about what you just said, about that outplaying teams? Those moments with Jose, those moments with Oli. The last time I was literally 100% convinced was kind of LVG, but it was always the big games. It was never those games that United should win. So United would face Fulham and draw 0-0 with 67 crosses into the box. But whenever we faced the City, a Liverpool, who else was there? Spurs, Arsenal. I was confident. That was the last time I went into, especially big games, I guess. Where I was like, you know what, United should win. So do you remember when we beat City? I think Matter and
Wanfield.
No, that was Liverpool.
Okay.
So I think at Old Trafford we beat City after going like 1-0 down. Aguero scored and we came back. Wanfield obviously, class City.
Yeah.
Spurs, we beat them like 2 or 3-0. I think that was the game where Rooney
done the knockout thing.
Boxing thing. Like, that was the last time I can remember where I was like.
And it was a run. It was it wasn't them games. It was that run.
Yeah.
It was just back to back, just out popping teams.
But the thing is with this Ten Hag hiring, and it all just goes back. The reason this is significant is also because there's been a lot of change in the boardroom and stuff. So for United, it's an interesting one where not only are we changing our coach and our playing team, we're also changing a lot of people in the board, the scouting team. There's a lot of change.
We're gonna get into that though. We're gonna get into that specifically because that's a point. I'm sure we'll all have things to say about upstairs. But the interesting thing with Ten Hag is, and people haven't really touched on this, you know.
Okay.
So the last time Ajax won when before Ten Hag came in, Ajax didn't win the league since 2014. Okay, what's the significant similarity in regards to us? We haven't won the league since 2013, but you know the actual point that actually stood out to me when I was actually analysing everything was Feyenoord and PSV were dominating, same way Liverpool and City are dominating. So I feel like it's not the same thing because it's the Dutch league, innit?
Yeah,
but before he came in, he knew Ajax weren't at the level. He went in, put his stamp on the team, and they dominated. Three titles out of 4. The only reason why they didn't get the 4th was because of COVID. They were top of the table at that point.
And he had some difficulties as well during his time. So
Yep.
like I think he had issues with Tadic, for example.
Scandals for days.
Tadic was, and a lot of the team were a bit like, I'm not sure about this guy's tactics. Who are you?
Yeah.
To come and tell a man how to play football.
Yeah.
And he had to win them over, and he did.
Yeah. Ziyech, them guys there, Neres.
Yeah. And some good players there as well.
Literally.
And I know you said the Dutch league, but we've seen it. Biggest nights, Champions League. We've seen. Went to Bernabeu off the park. Tadic was, like you said, he had his problems with him, but he was the best player on the park at the Bernabeu that day.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for, was it who scored the hat trick? Was Lucas?
Yeah.
Against Spurs.
Yeah, that's a fluke one.
Deep that, man, that don't happen. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
If it wasn't because of that, the guy would have been in the Champions League final with that Ajax side. So
100%.
to not only pick up that Ajax side from that where it was, and obviously get them to win the league and win 3 in a row, and probably would have been 4. He got them at that level and took them to practically the Champions League final.
Yeah.
So
with the budget he had.
And the questions were asked to Sebastian Haller, to Tadic, guys who didn't. Tadic was alright in the Premier League actually, but Haller.
Even speaking about this season, as you are, Haller, look what he was doing in champs. What's people gonna say? How long is it?
Shocking at West Ham.
That's what I'm trying to say.
And they splashed 25 mil on him or something.
I think that speaks to the important part of coaching and like considering like the fact I work in the football industry. I feel like I have an appreciation of player development.
Yeah.
And player improvement and the job of a coach to take a player from point A to point B and how there is always room for improvement, no matter which field you're in, whether it's football, whether it's like a doctor, I don't know, lawyer. But specifically with football, there's always room to improve and to learn and to grow.
Yeah.
So, for example, I hate Scott McTominay, bottom of my heart. You know what? He's a United boy, great academy. He loves it, gets stuck in. But you know what? And those are important facets, the fundamentals of working hard
And that's why, and yeah, like, don't get me wrong, I'm not his biggest fan either, but that is why he's lasted this long, because of those facets. And
so it'll be, I guess my point more so is it will be interesting to see where he can take a McTominay.
Yeah.
If he fits in. A Fred. Even, I don't know how you guys feel about this guy, even a Bruno, where he can take Bruno. I have my thoughts on Bruno.
Yeah, don't worry, we're going to get into that.
Cool.
Trust me.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he can take particular players from point A to point B and how that will translate from the training pitch to the actual pitch.
So,
but, I think with what you were touching on, given obviously the similarities, it's obviously early days. It's obviously too early to say, but is there a world where you see Ten Hag being successful? And when I mean being successful, I mean breaking up the two best.
As you said, all errors. As you said, all errors come to an end.
And he looked promising in his press conference. Like, I'm not one. Like, I remember I spoke to you that day, and I said I've seen this before, where managers speak well. They all speak well.
Ralph was a good speaker.
Probably the best. Probably the best, and he was our worst ever.
Superb speaker.
Oh, Ranić, if I get into that blow.
So that's why I said to you, like, I've seen this. Yeah. I've seen this act before. So, but if we are going to comment on his press conference, he did speak well, and there was certain things where I was like, okay, and stuff like that, comments like that. And when they asked him about Ralph, he was like, "It's not my decision.
It's not my business."
You get it. So, and now Ralph's not here. So
I see Vintage Red say Ten Hag probably gave Ralph the blue ticks. He aired him when he tried to message him telling him, "Listen, man, if we get into Ralph, we'll be here all day." But it's mad.
No, but so is there a world where you see Ten Hag breaking up at least, or toppling the best two teams in the world? Well, to the floor.
That's a big ask. So City, I think, are going to be the best team in the country for as long as Pep Guardiola is there. That's based off a little bias of mine. I'm a big Pep fan, obviously.
It's not. You didn't even have to say that.
But look who they just added. I'm not going to say his name. Forget it. Look who they just added to their team. Do you know what I mean? But City have shown there are weaknesses in their team for sure, or they are suspect to. In small.
I mean, they're trying to add Phillips to replace Fernandinho. That's him and Rodri.
Backup for Rodri. I think Rodri's been great.
They're putting Cucurella in.
A great backup to. It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy.
So it's like, where's the actual?
It's the Liverpool thing, and the whole. They're another year older, so like Fabinho, Hendo.
Yeah.
Key fundamental players for them. Just lost Sadio Mane. I say lost, but he's gone. He's on his way to Bayern.
Mm-hmm. And I think.
There are cracks in. I feel like there are small cracks in that Liverpool, not based off last season.
They're not signing a midfielder apparently this season as well. Paul Joyce, their chief journalist or whatever you say, said that they're not signing a midfielder. They're going to leave that till next season, and I think that's where their weakness is. I feel like not their weakness per se, but when I look at that Liverpool team and I think to myself, where can they go up a gear? Where can they string another level? I think it's creativity in midfield for them specifically, but. You know, them teams, as you said, for me, they're a different level, innit? And I feel like it's a big ask, but I feel like if this season's key, this season's the most important season, in my opinion, that we've had probably since Fergie left. And I would say that because we're seeing two of our rivals dominating. We just had our worst ever Premier League season in history. So it's like now, we need to start now. We need to start putting things in place. We need to start putting things in motion. We can't afford to have bad recruitment this season. Right. Going into next season and then having to, I don't know, maybe have to shift more players out. We need to start. It's good. It's a good thing that 7 players have left because now we can start taking some players out. And he likes youth, so I'm trying to see that as well in the team. I'm trying to rebuild.
So who are you trying to see? From
the academy
/ youth team / players that have gone out on loan, so like the Garners.
So
who are you trying to see potentially next season in there?
I'm trying to see Ahmad for sure.
Okay.
I feel like he'll get loaned out. But I feel like these players have a chance to impress him in pre-season. It's a fresh slate. It's a clean slate for everyone. Do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to see Ahmad. Pelestri's a weird one for me because he gets called up to the national side. He starts every of their games. All of them games. He starts all of their games. And he actually contributes with assists and whatever, innit? So he could be another one. I got my question marks over him because when he's gone to Alves and he didn't really pull up trees, do you know what I mean? But Pelestri, I would say Ahmad, Garnacho looks promising. Okay. Apparently Liverpool are sniffing around. No, apparently, yeah, do you get it? So it's like, we've got promising players, and that's one of the most exciting things about Ten Hag for me, because I know he's gonna give them, like, he's gonna give youth players a chance. It might even be hidden gems that we ain't even heard of. So that's part of the excitement, isn't it? Going into that. What about you? He you know what I mean? Ghana as well, obviously, but yeah.
So I would have said Ethan Laird back in Jan, based upon what he did at Swansea, but then he's picked up some injuries, wasn't really in the team, but he's highly regarded. Yeah. That right back spot does need addressing at some point.
It needs addressing now.
Don't need to talk about Aaron Wan-Bissaka because we already know what he is and what he isn't, and he's not good enough. And neither is Diego Dallo either. He's not good enough.
Saw him get torn. Dan
so yeah, that right back spot needs addressing, and again, whether Laird is the guy for that, I don't know, but I'd rather see him than see those two, who I've seen enough of them to know. Literally. So pre-season, I'd like to see an Ethan Laird in the team. Ghana, I think, should have another loan back to Forest, probably. Good player though, and is he probably better on the ball than someone like Mokhtom? Probably, but then there's so many other facets to the game to consider. So maybe another loan at Forest would be good for him.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you've got a promising team as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the coach Steve Cooper.
Yeah.
He's top.
Yeah.
Like, his reputation is superb.
Yeah.
So Ghana maybe in pre-season to see how he looked.
Yeah.
Because I feel as though he could do well under that style. Would he be a main fixture? I don't know. But yeah, Ahmad has the type of winger qualities I really like. Especially seeing as though we've lost some players for different reasons.
Yeah.
So I feel as though we need someone like that who's direct, but who's also very, very good at looking after the ball. Yeah. Has technical security.
Yeah.
Which
we're crying for. Yeah, we're crying for it.
So yeah, I'd say maybe Ahmad, Ethan Laird, potentially to have a look at. Ghana in terms of looking at him as well, seeing how he settles in. I'm sure there's more players that I've completely forgotten about, but yeah, those three. What about yourself?
Hannibal as well for me.
See, that's an interesting one. Anytime he's actually been in the team, it's like he seems to play quite well against. Who was the last game of the season?
Palace.
He seemed to do quite well until he got subbed.
Yeah.
But a lot of other fans that don't like us seem to base his game on the.
Yeah, but they would say that because
he had a little something with Zaha against Palace.
He loves it.
Yeah.
He's got a reputation for that. Though.
Yeah.
So, but then there's also like I'd rather see that than some of the shit I've seen from some of these guys.
You get.
So.
That's what I'm saying, and Gary Neville that day was on commentary at Anfield, and then he said he was actually proud of him because we ain't seen that for the last.
We're in the tatters.
We ain't seen that for the last 3 months.
Literally.
So we're even that, which isn't something to even shout about, is actually making us happy.
I don't think he's shown on any hyper stage how good he is actually on the ball.
No, definitely. But I think there's promising. He's promising, isn't it?
Certainly.
We've gone. Laird was one, because obviously them two right backs I've had. It's been well known that I'm not their biggest fans.
Yeah, of course.
Especially Dallo, who's apparently going to stay.
Yeah.
Instead of Wan-Bissaka, which again, you can flip a coin between the both of them, to be honest. So yeah, Laird was one I was looking forward to. There was Brandon Williams.
Okay.
When he first came through, I did really like him.
Alright, cool.
I did really like him, but with the whole right-footed left back, there is something's holding him back to actually go that next level.
Right.
And Alex Telles, but the thing is, if Brandon Williams was to come in, I wouldn't necessarily say, oh yeah, for sure.
He's better than Telles. He's better than Telles.
Alex Telles, I reckon we could. But Brandon Williams would pick up a fee as well. That's the thing. It's just you're picking between two
lumps.
Who's least worst out of both of them? You get what I'm saying?
Deep it. I'm telling you, Brandon Williams is better than Telles.
Of course he is.
I'm showing you, he is. And I'm telling you, Wan-Bissaka, left back will be better than Tellez. I'm telling you,
But,
Tellez is awful.
Yeah, those were the two because I feel like we have big problem. They're big problem areas for me.
Cool.
And Luke Shaw let me down immensely last year because after the Euros, after that the season before, you just thought you was gonna this is our left back now. You know what I'm saying? And then for him to just let us down.
He looks like he's World Cups, boy. Is that Jeopardy as well? So.
Again, so
all of them
it's just
in
so
our
frustrating.
team.
And
Southgate was on them.
All of them.
And so those were the two really, but like you said, Brandon Williams kind of fell off towards the back end of the season. Ethan Led's I didn't understand that loan.
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
Right.
He was He was at Swansea playing well. They loved him, and then he got loaned out to Bournemouth. Never played. So that kind of stunted his progress. So it's like there's not Ahmad is obviously one. How he uses him, we won't know. But yeah, I'd say I doubt this will come to fruition, but it was Ethan Laird for me was the one.
Yeah.
But and hopefully with the right back situation, I did read something that he was gonna come back in pre-season.
Yeah.
Hopefully he just does show his worth because
I think
no reason why he can't say to Dallo, that's my sport. So yeah, those were.
It won't be hard
in terms
to
of
be
the
fair.
youth players.
No, it actually won't. Let's be real here, man.
No, I'm with you, bro.
It won't be hard for someone to come in. I'm telling you, yeah, if I'm in that United team, yeah, and I'm a young G, yeah, and I can play along the back line, I am telling you, I'm going for that right back spot. I'm changing my position. I'll change my position, you know. I promise you, if I was playing left back or something, I'm changing to right back. But what I was going to ask you, yeah, was what do you make of the dressing room at the moment? So, for example, specifically, I want you to touch on McTominay's interview. Did you see it when he was?
He did a few, bro.
Yeah. So the one where
the last one was probably one of the Liverpool City games.
Yeah. Yeah. Where he was basically telling us that the dressing room is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Lingard's comments, the Martial not wanting to play, Lingard not wanting to play, Ronaldo apparently having a problem with some of the players in the team. Just about the dressing room in general. Like, what's your thoughts on specifically this season and what Ten Hag is gonna have to deal with going into next season?
I think luckily for Ten Hag, there are some players that have already left or are on the way to leaving. That's not Paul Pogba actually, although his documentary was quite interesting. I watched it yesterday and today.
Yeah.
Let's start with McTominay. Well, we knew there was issues in that team from every time I follow some of the United pages. You know where they steal from the articles.
Yeah.
To get the 1,000 retweets.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a leak, whether it's the Telegraph, the Athletic, the Mail.
That's another problem.
But that's part of what I wanted to. Who do you even think is? But you touch on that after. You know what I mean?
So the thing is, there's always going to be those. That's always going to happen, but the severity of it depends upon how successful you are. So the more successful you are, the less chance of that is happening.
Because there's nothing to complain about.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the second part to that is if players are playing. If players are playing, they're happy. If players aren't playing and the team is losing, you've got a two-pronged problem because you're not winning games and you've got players that aren't happy because they're not playing. And like, well, I should be like Eric Bailly's probably said thousands of times. I should be playing ahead of Harry.
He's been commenting on posts.
I should be playing ahead of Harry Maguire. Maguire's been awful,
and
I can't be mad at you.
Yeah, because he kind of has a point.
Do you get?
So the leak thing and the whole like issues with the team, I'm not surprised about one bit. Tom is the type of. I wish that weren't coming from him. That's what drives me. It's like you're not good at football. I don't want to hear you talk. But
he's speaking well. Do you get it? Right? Yeah.
He's a good spokesperson or spokesman for that kind of situation, especially because he's an academy player, the British. Love it. You know what I'm saying? So that doesn't surprise me. I think there's. Do you know what? I feel like some of them don't like Bruno, man. I have that feeling in it, bro.
Nah, but that's the problem.
Yeah.
He has to come into where it's like, even Ronaldo. I read something where he's come in and he's like, he's such a winner and
his mindset's different, man.
Do you get it? So his attention to detail, his mindset, his work ethic. These United players haven't been surrounded.
They're
by
dreaming.
That.
They can't even dream some of the things.
Even a positive coming into the dressing room where maybe he's gonna be an example. It's literally sent them the other way because they're not used to it. They're like, this guy works too hard.
He spoke about. I think he spoke about in that interview with Sky where he spoke about some of the young players not really taking on his advice and stuff, which I think was like. Anyway, I won't say who that was to. Who I think it was to because I can't talk about them, man. But there's a few people I feel like he had a go at. And there was you could tell on the pitch at times during that season where people weren't passing to each other. I don't know if it was just me seeing things, but
no, it wasn't.
there were
Yeah,
times where one of our players just hog the ball and not pass to Ronaldo, for example, loads of times during games. So I feel like there's defo issues. Martial, he weren't playing, he wanted to leave, and that was so obvious. And I'm a big I was kind of Martial.
same man.
I think we were all aboard.
That's what
I
actually.
had stocks, man.
Yeah, man.
I had stocks.
That's what pains me. That's what actually pains me.
And then we've had the Rashford thing where he's fell off a cliff. Eric Bailly, the whole Maguire situation. Maguire, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, Maguire.
And then that's another thing. That he's the club captain.
Yeah.
So then, we're all look. That whole dressing room's it's falling apart.
The whole conundrum.
And then who do we look to? We can't even look to our captain. Yeah. So who should be?
Because he's falling apart himself. How can you look to someone that's falling apart themselves?
You can literally see he had a crisis of confidence.
Yeah, man.
Last season, there was the Leicester game where he. I can't remember what he did. He tried to.
No. What last season? When he De Gea passed him the ball and he just waited for it.
Yeah, bagged. Yeah. That was it. That was the.
No, we've had some calamity.
We could be all night. Don't worry
the Spurs one where he dragged them short.
The Watford game. He had some Norwich. I think he had a nightmare against.
Yeah. Stepping out. Was it Atletico where he stepped out? Where he did. Oh, that was Lindelof. I allow him.
We even made Varane look a bit shaky, bro. Not even a bit. Varane started to look very shaky.
People are telling me Varane is S-high. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
So
that's what people are fully telling me now, you know, off the back of the whole team stinking it up this season, you know.
Yes,
I forgot everyone in this team were bad. I forgot.
But to answer your question about the dressing room, it was clearly divided. There was clearly cliques. I feel like I read things where there was like the Portuguese, Spanish contingency. Some of the McToms would chill with like whoever he would chill with. Some of the French speaking people would. Which again is
Pogba,
always going to happen to some degree. That happens at work. Like I'm always going to want to chill with the man.
Of course.
But it has to be someone that brings everyone
together.
Particular situations. Dinners. There was I read something where they went for dinner. Not everyone turned up.
Yeah.
It's just like So I think Ten Hag. Luckily, some of these guys have gone. I wouldn't count Mata and Matic as one of those. I think those are actually really good squad players to have if you could keep them, but. I understand why they've gone, but someone like Martial, I think his time's just done.
I wouldn't be surprised if he stays, you know.
But I don't know what we'll get for him, but he needs a fresh start. Pogba needed to go. And I love him. He needed a fresh start. 100% there was too much attention on him. There was too much... I feel like not even too much expectation because he should be delivering to a high level, but I feel Pogba... Yeah, it got to a point it was too much for him.
It was just you get when you have to break up, like it's just
it's not working. Gone on too long.
It's not working,
like,
and it's like you kind of both agreed that.
I still got I love you, but
it's like you violated, man.
Both parties, by the way.
Yeah.
I feel like he had some.
Listen,
he as someone that I am a big fan of, he didn't deliver. To the level I feel like he should have, but I also think he was let down by
100, and it's funny because that was even our last. You know what I mean, we literally spoke about it, about the way he got treated and that.
I think that's the general consensus that it's a bit of both. It was a bit of both, and it's such a shame.
Depends who you speak to, you know. Like I feel like the media in this country.
Oh no! Apart
we know the media. We know the media standpoint.
But it's like with the man them or with people we know. My general consensus was that. They both let each other down. Yeah. So, and it's a shame because, like I was telling you last week, that quality of player.
Bro,
we're talking about it's out of this world, so it is. That's why it's such a shame. But
I think the thing with him though, it's just the one thing, and I think he spoke about in his doc. His legs have gone. They're not the same, man. He's lost that yard. I don't think he's as physically. Well, he can get back in shape. I don't think he's as physically strong and as conditioned and as powerful as he used to be a few years ago.
I completely agree. He's not the same animal.
Yeah, man.
So, who do you think should be our captain?
Boy. Might have to give it to Ronaldo, you know. But he's only going to be here for like another year. Might have to.
Are there any contenders, if any? Or it's unanimous?
That's the problem.
So, De Gea's had it before, lost it for whatever reason. or he was like a.
Yeah.
Because he spoke out and
I
all
think
of
he
that
was under
stuff.
Ole or something.
Yeah.
Might have to be Ronaldo, man. I don't think Ren has the qualities.
I think he's a leader.
Someone that's a leader.
I don't think he's a
Varane has
leader.
We lost Pogba. There's no one. It's Ronaldo, man. If you're not gonna keep Maguire, which is if you do that, by the way, if you take that from Harry Maguire, that could ruin him, man.
That's another thing. He doesn't look like the most confident fella. So it's like, I can imagine him dying to keep that armband because it's like the one thing where you're Man United captain. You know what I'm saying? So
I think there could be a thing of like where I think Liverpool and City have it again. Not say we have to copy everything they do, but have like a leadership team. So Maguire might still keep the captaincy on paper, on face, but you have someone like Ronaldo as one of the senior leaders.
Just the face of it.
Yeah, then you might have like a De Gea who seems like he's going to stay here now for another couple of years. Have him as part of that. Have a Varane who may not be the straight out leader, but someone of presence, someone of magnitude within the game, rather than just saying Maguire's captain.
Yeah.
Have like a leadership team. So I think that could be something that works for United, but.
That's the problem. I had this conversation with my brother. It's just there's no one else. I won't necessarily want to pick Ronaldo because
same by the way. Yeah.
When has he ever really been? He's never been a captain, really. Maybe apart from Portugal.
And he's very petulant for 30, 40 or 50-year-old. However old he
Yeah.
is. Like,
So isn't that another problem in itself though? Because we know he's going next year. So what? Even if there's no contender, so we give it to Ronaldo this year. We're gonna face the problem next year. So
and that's the problem. And then if we do face that problem, it's good next year or whenever, or because we don't have captains, like we've said.
Yeah.
We're talking about something Ole done where we didn't have captains at that time either.
Yeah,
but because we bought Maguire and he saw Maguire fit enough to be the captain.
Yeah,
we got a captain that's just been in through the door for a week.
So what are you doing then?
It depends. It depends what we do with the
signings, innit?
Signings.
But even that's the same thing, no?
Which is look. Yeah, don't know.
Isn't that the same thing?
Giving
Maguire. It's the same as giving.
That's that. But these are the problems though that he's got to face, and he's got to, whether it's Maguire, whether we disagree or agree, he's got to stand firm on that, and he's got to understand that doing that, you're practically saying Maguire's my centre half too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So.
Or you let him self-destruct and remove it from him. That's the other side to it.
If it goes the other way.
If it goes the other way.
Then, do you give it to Bruno?
Absolutely.
No.
No way in hell.
In terms of the thought process, in terms of.
By the way, I'm a big Bruno fan, so hello.
No.
I'm a big Bruno fan, so we're gonna have conversations.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
We're gonna have conversations.
Where's the other Maggie? Lord have mercy.
Hey, trust me, we're gonna have convo.
When you're ready.
Yeah, don't worry.
You shouldn't even have told me that.
No.
Anyway,
trust me, because I'm gonna be intrigued to hear what you're gonna say.
Yeah, cool. Send them.
But, in terms of the 5-year deal, just saying, in terms of Bruno's come in, obviously he is a big figure.
Oh, yeah, he signed a new one. Yeah, I forgot about that.
He is a big figure.
Don't worry, he ain't going nowhere. Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
He is a big figure in that dressing room, and obviously my hope is that Ten Hag signed that deal.
Do you think?
It was around.
My hope. I pray to God that he did. Because if he didn't, it will just show up. It will show us.
Apparently, he did. By the way, reports came out.
Which reports? Fabrizio. Bro,
I don't care. I don't care.
Do you think he didn't sign off?
I was a bit unsure still. But
no, I don't blame him.
If spoken to him, it wouldn't have made sense not to.
Yeah, it was the same period, and Fabrizio did say that it got.
The chief, but it's cool.
Yeah, you know the chiefs.
But he's a good chief.
He's a tapping chief.
Yeah, man.
So, you know what I mean?
Let me just add Laurie Whitwell.
You know, yeah, man. Let me just add Ornstein. Yeah, I'll add Ornstein quick.
He's cold for that, you know.
No, you actually have to respect it.
He'll give you the same update a day later.
He gives you 7 updates. Go type in De Jong's name with Fabrizio. You'll see at least 20 tweets.
It won't go quiet. He'll keep
you guessing. Keep you on the edge of your seat. I give it to him. You're a grinder.
Funny, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he actually is a brand. He's done well.
No, he's done well, man. You can't hate on that, man.
But yeah, Bruno. Yeah, he signed a 5 years, so he's not going anywhere.
So for me personally, anyway. So you think Ronaldo? I guess.
But the thing is, I say Ronaldo, bro.
Because
that's
there's
with
no one
gritty
else.
teeth. That's with gritty teeth because he's very petulant.
1,000%.
See what he did against Brentford?
They're
sick.
They're
Yeah,
all.
How
They're,
dare you? Are
they're-
you dumb?
Yeah, 1,000%. 1,000%.
they're
I
all
agree with you.
petulant though. That's the
But
sad
that-
thing.
That's coming from someone that's a
The
senior
o-
pro. That's
Yeah.
disgusting, man.
And the saddest thing is that I'm saying, like you said, with gritted teeth, with Ronaldo, I'm saying it because
Who else?
he's not, but also in terms of his attributes as a leader and a captain, it's because he's the best player ever. So people are gonna look up to him.
Oh,
But as a captain,
Petulant.
who he's never really been, he was never that at Madrid. He's never been that guy to maybe gather a dressing
He just
room.
shows it on the pitch. That's it.
Yeah, only
And you, as a captain, you need more than that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be,
Portugal, he's captain because he's the best player.
Yeah.
literally, and there was last season it showed. We were again, like you said, worst Premier League season ever, and there was times where you kind of wanted to look to Ronaldo for some
Uplift, and he's running down the
heads
tunnel.
heads down.
He's cutting
down
out.
the funnel, no going down to the way end,
He's cutting out. We've been in away ends, and he's gone first straight, shoot it off,
and you're
Shrugging
like,
his shoulders.
shrugging his shoulders.
so with captain, like you said earlier, do you leave it with Maguire? Because then what does that do to Maguire?
Hell to the no. I'll be real with you. And this, listen, sorry, innit? I will rather remove it from him and risk the self-destruction than leave it with him.
Okay.
That's me personally.
Look,
And that's for someone-
There's a point where there's no right or wrong answer. That's
That's me, innit? And
But I'd probably gritted teeth. I'd probably side with Cristiano.
and for me, with no gritty teeth, I'll go Bruno.
Let's go now, man. Talk to me.
And let me tell you why I'll go Bruno. But before we speak about
You want
whether...
to say that still? Cool.
No, before we speak about whether he can fit into Ten Hag's system or whatever, the reason why I'll give him captaincy is because it's part of the... I don't want to give it to him, but it's partly because Ronaldo's leaving,
Right.
and that would mean I don't see anyone else in that team that's fit. I don't even think Bruno's fit to wear it, but everyone else in the team isn't. What would I want to do? Would I want to give it to Ronaldo and then have to give it to Bruno next season, or give it to De Jong if we sign him or whatever? It doesn't make sense. We need stability from now. It needs to start off now. And whether people like it or not, Bruno's going to be featuring in Ten Hag's plans. So you need to get used to it. At the end of the day, do you get it? He just signed a 5-year deal. Around the same time Ten Hag was speaking to the club. It got approved. It got signed off. Dotted line, mate. So what? We should give it to Ronaldo and then have to face this same conversation we're speaking about the following season. I don't want to give it to Bruno because Bruno's petulant. Bruno has had an awful season. You can't... No one can... Even though I'm a big fan of his, and you understand why, Bruno has his flaws. He has his flaws. You get it? It can't be missed.
You seem balanced. Right.
You can't miss Bruno's flaws, but he still is United. As much as you want to talk about everything else, he loves United, bro. He is, and I don't see anyone else around him that shares the same, that gives me them kind of vibes. Like even after games when we lose, you see the way he talks, the way he speaks, the way he don't blame the team like other guys
Okay, yeah.
that wear the captain armband that actually should be actually rallying everyone. You know what I'm trying to say? That's just me, innit?
Okay.
I heard the Ronaldo argument. Ronaldo is the fit person to wear the arm in terms of experience and whatnot, but a year later,
Yeah, no, I hear you still. You might have-
No, that's fair. That's the predicament we find ourselves in.
and
Like,
it's sad.
We're giving it to guys that
Shouldn't.
aren't captains.
Nah.
And then it's a domino effect. Because if you do Bruno, he's keeping it.
Do you get it?
Unless he does what Fergie used to do, and I don't know how Fergie used to get away with that, but he'll give it to Rio. A couple years later, it's Vidic's armband. But you don't really see that nowadays. It's normally you get the armband, you keep it. So for me, giving that to Bruno, that
Could set
won't
us
change.
back.
Not set us back, but it's just like he might want someone else to be captain in a few years because he signed him, and he seems him a better fit. But he would have to take it off Bruno. And how will Bruno take that? And we know how Bruno is. So then that's what I mean by the domino effect. But then I would like to think that Ten Hag, our new manager, is able to make those decisions and say, I see so-and-so a better fit than Bruno, so I'm going to take it off you.
Yeah.
And I don't want you to kick up a fuss about it. It's just
It's for
what's
the
best
team.
for the team.
It's for the team.
But I personally don't see him doing that.
Yeah.
So whoever we give it to now, which if we're gonna flip the Ronaldo one, if we give it to Ronaldo, it might give us a year to actually find someone. We might actually be able to sign someone in a year where you're like, all right, you're a ready-made tipper.
Yeah.
So there's ifs, buts, and maybes. I don't think there's a right answer or wrong answer. I think the guys we've named, if someone was to say keep it to Maguire, I'd be like, I kind of understand. If what you said, I understand. What you're saying, I understand. So it's like, that's the mess we're in. Where we've got a squad of 25 and I don't deem anyone fit to wear it.
No.
But moving on. I want to know, this will be a bit funny, but I want to know, I don't care how unrealistic it is.
Right.
If you were Ten Hag, who has to go? Literally, like, I don't care if you say Bruno.
Yeah.
Who
This will be interesting.
Who do you, in that squad, think has to go for us to actually make even 10 steps forward?
Players that have been out on loan as well.
Anyone.
Wan-Bissaka, Diego Dalot, potentially De Gea. Potentially. Depending on how he looks with the ball at his feet. How he looks at coming out. He's never been someone that claims crosses. Fuck that. How he looks with the ball at his feet and his distribution. His distribution used to be actually quite decent. It fell off a cliff. So I'd stick with those two for now. So the two right backs. I think Harry Maguire is an okay centre back. He has some qualities. Maguire.
You were fighting with yourself.
Lindelof can stay. Just about back up would be okay.
Yeah.
Varane, good centre back. Bring someone else in. Buy, go, because it's been too long. Hasn't worked out. The two, I can take Luke Shaw potentially. Yeah. Tell us go. I might as well just go through the team. Yeah. McTominay, you can go.
Yeah.
Go play for Everton. See, like Tom Cleverley and Tom Davis and them.
Yeah.
That's how
That's a fair career. It's a fair
That's
career.
Listen, Cleverley won the title.
Might even give him the benefit of the doubt here. But
Listen, Cleverley won the title, so listen.
We used to play him and Anderson.
Do you get?
Crazy.
And we're still mashing teams.
That gaffer though. We're joking about it, but that's what a gaffer does.
Yeah, man.
And I've said it from
Show
day
by
dot.
the times.
And I've said it from day dot. Forget who you bring in. Forget the signings. Forget De Jong. We need a manager
That's gonna manage.
Like we've said about upstairs, and let's get it straight here. Ten Hag will get let down.
Okay.
Ten Hag won't get everyone he wants.
Of course. That's never gonna happen anyway. So cool.
No. Sorry, just
In
to
terms
follow
of-
him,
in terms
he'll
of-
get let down as well by the players. I just pray he ships most of them out before they allow him to get shown his arse.
Finish. Martial, go. I always, you get me. Ooh, that's not the thing,
Yeah.
bruv. Yeah, always love you, my guy.
Yeah.
But it's time, man. You look finished.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh. Rash, give him another year because he's done too much. And he's United boy, man. Give Rash another year. Fred could be a half decent little box to box backup. That second half of the season on the rough, he looks alright, man. We have got no right wingers at the moment. Jaden has to stay. Like, that's my guy, man. South London and that. Get me. But I need more from you, bro.
Yeah, we need more.
Who's our left winger?
Alanga, you having Alanga? Hold on, bro.
Enough said.
Well, you're not having Alanga. He got us out of some. I don't. No. That's not the.
I'm listening to you.
No. You go.
He's a United boy.
That's about it.
Go you. Go you. United
Okay.
boy, love that. He's a good athlete as well. Like, run. Yeah, I can run. And then Ronaldo. Cavani's gone, so good riddance.
Good riddance.
Okay.
Listen.
No, chill.
He's a
Chill. I know
charlatan.
it's a touchy. Huh?
He's a charlatan.
No,
He's a charlatan. And then Ronaldo, Ronaldo has to stay. Who else is there? Yeah, there's no one else. That's it. I'm done, man. Yeah, Bearman can go. Yeah, Bearman won't go though. And I think that's the interesting part with the thing where we're talking about players going and staying. There's always going to be some players who might end up staying who will improve under this guy because that's what we expect from him. We expect good coaches to improve players, to take players from point A to point B. good managers, whether it's in your working environment in the office or you're on the football pitch. Managers should take someone from point A to point B in terms of their development and offer them opportunities to develop. And then it's up to you to take that. So can Tom stop being a coward and hiding from the ball in the build-up?
Maybe.
And hiding behind the shadow cover.
Maybe.
Trying to not receive the ball in the pockets.
Hopefully.
Can Fred continue to develop his game in terms of his ball security, his technical security?
Keeping the ball.
Looking after
your teammates right there. Can you get
him, or are you going to put...
Giving them the ball the way you'd want to receive them.
Yeah. Or you're going to put out a touch.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so there's scope for these guys to improve. And as I said, you're always going to have duds in your team. Speaking in the group chat the other day that I'm in, and they're like, they were talking about their Arsenal squad. And he's like, there's some duds in this team. They're a potential team. And I was like, he said, there's still some duds here. We ain't making top 4. Every team's going to have duds unless you're City and Liverpool. And even City, does everyone rate Zinchenko like that? Not really. Zinchenko's a good player, but no one's talking about Zinchenko.
But
like
why? But why?
They've got a good coach and he's got a system in place which allows him and facilitates him to play the way he can. It optimizes even his might be a basic skill set. The system optimizes his basic skill set of what he can do with the ball.
And he's very important player.
Bro, they wouldn't win the league without him.
Do you get it?
When he came on
They want to win the league, so
change the game.
you're gonna need those players that we don't rate.
Because they can't all. People are gonna be unhappy. You gotta have players that are
ready,
content with
being role players. Like NBA, I don't know if you guys watch the NBA. NBA has role players. You have
for days.
You have Steph Curry's, you have Clay's, you have Wiggins.
Do you have Porters?
But then you're gonna have your Porters, your Kumingas, your Jordan Pools. You're gonna have to come off the. That's
to play their part, yeah.
So yeah.
But that's what I was saying earlier. It's very basic, but none of our managers have been able to get that out of the set of players they've had in their moments in time. So I've always said to you, like I said, forget all them summer signings. You are gonna have a squad of players. You're only gonna sign what, 3?
We'll be lucky to get 3. We'll be lucky.
3, 4 players at 5 for if it's a miracle. You need to get what you got playing, and if you don't, like you said, we've seen it many a time before. They'll pack it in, and they'll show their asses like they've had this season. So forget. People like to go into detail. They like to analyze it till the cows come home. Ten Hag needs to get per se Maguire playing at an acceptable level
I'll take
acceptable
decent level. I'll take
exactly.
Compared to what he was doing, I'll take
exactly.
I'll just take something.
Yeah, and like you said, Tom, yes, he's this, he's that, but like you said, can a Ten Hag get him?
Yeah.
Receiving the ball off the centre backs.
Yeah.
In tough areas, and then maybe turning, and can he? And if he can, without saying too much, you might have some with regards to the other facets of his game where he works hard and he's a tough tackler.
Calm shot on him.
Do you get it? So it's like maybe it could work to a point where you might be able to sit in my squad. So yeah, we need a manager because, like I said, 3 signings probably. So the Varans need to start picking up again. Can De Gea play out from the? Can De Gea not play out from the back? But can De Gea start maybe starting attacks and so forth? So yeah, that's
for me.
I just think
for me, everyone you said, I agree with. I'll leave.
Like a Langer though.
Yeah, just because, and it's sad. The reason behind it is not even that it's sad. It's we've been in the pits this season for the whole season, like literally. So it's like he's a player that's been given. Quality levels, I don't think it's there. I don't even think he's come out of the. I even think there's players in the youth this season that didn't even go out on loan that maybe could have played. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for what I've seen this season from him, he's always given these, and you have to appreciate things like that when we have players that pack it in every game.
Yeah, he's an honest.
You see what I'm trying to say? So it's not because
that's the best description for him.
You get it? It's not because he's pulled up massive trees. It's because I've been seeing disgracefulness for the whole season.
I hear you.
You get what I'm trying to say?
It is sad.
So I was gonna ask you, if we're talking hypotheticals, who would you like to see in this United team this season?
Yeah. Sorry, boys. I just wanted to touch before we move on to that,
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
you mentioned De Gea.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna
Yeah,
mention-
sorry. De Gea for me, not even a 50%.
I'm not
100% out.
I'm not gonna mention any other player. I'm not gonna mention any other player because I feel like the Phil Joneses, the McTominays, all of that. I feel like when you say that, it's kind of self-explanatory. But David De Gea, yeah, like I said earlier, it's a domino effect, bro. And that guy, was one of my favorite players. I loved him. I absolutely loved him. I used to sing his praises and say the guy's best keeper in the world.
Save against Chelsea, ran matter with the across.
All of that, and then
the left hand,
and then the years that went by after that.
Crazy.
And even, and then the 2 years ago it kind of fell off. But now I can't stand him, bro. I can't stand him. I just feel like he's a goalkeeper, and he's only good at one thing.
What shot stopping?
One thing.
Shot stopping, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
When it comes to coming off his line,
terrible,
receiving balls,
terrible,
being aggressive, like we saw Courtois against Liverpool in the Champions League final.
Dominant.
I would cry
Dominant.
for De Gea to do that.
Dominant.
And
presence.
we're talking specifically about De Gea, but that sets
a precedent
like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
Like we've all played football, and I've played centre
If you
half.
don't play with a keeper that you trust, it's peak.
It's long. And if you know you're going to play with a keeper that's not going to come off his line, you're immediately dropping 5-10 yards back. And then, if Ten Hag wants to play with a high line, you can't blame Maguire or whoever it is because you're just scared. You're scared.
It leaves if you want to play with a high line, but you have a keeper that can do that, it leaves a gap between your centre backs and your goalkeeper. Or if you don't leave that gap, then you're dropping 10 yards, 5 yards back. It pens you in. You can't play as you normally would.
Want to.
So,
and I think that.
It's a domino.
And I hate to say it because I love him, but it's got to the point where, like with Pogba, it's done. It's been 11 years. You've fallen off a cliff. You're not even you don't even make Spain squads.
Yeah.
Sanchez makes it over you, the Brighton keeper.
I saw Enrique talking on that still.
Do you get it? How can a Brighton keeper?
Hey.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, but you're playing for for a team that's meant to be challenging for great honours, not a team that's happy to be fiddling in a mid-table.
They gave us a 4-0.
Yeah, because we're awful. It's not, but like part to play. It's not all of these teams that have pammed us. It's because of us majority of the times.
Yeah. I'm being it.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I'm with you.
So
I feel like, and I don't know what you think of Dean Henderson.
I think he's good.
But
I think he's good.
Honestly, I might be over exaggerating, but
you'd rather him, innit?
And just to see him go Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, that's not his level.
And I'm thinking
that's not his level.
We even under Ole were such a better side when he played.
It's a weird one with Ole though. Ole brought him in. He was basically our first choice keeper.
He got COVID.
That's another thing.
Ole has. Obviously, we're speaking about Ten Hag, but Ole is
deputy,
he was. Ole with Dean Henderson, with Lingard, with Martial should have sold Pogba. Should you have got Ronaldo? There's a lot of facets.
And
as flawed as he was, he had the opportunity to actually do much better than he did. And I feel like he wasn't. He
got let down as well. Let's be honest. Haaland, Bellingham, Grealish. Yeah, of course he did. But that's another.
I hear with your targets with Ole.
Your man managing.
No. There was a summer where we bought. It was the Cavani summer, and we on deadline day we bought Cavani, Ahmad, and Pellistri. The year before.
That was the Maguire, Wan-Bissaka, Daniel James.
And we got into the top 4.
Finished second, surely, that year.
He came in.
Second or third, and then we
finished third, then we finished second.
Okay, cool, my bad.
Yeah.
And then that's what I mean. You want to go into, okay, we finished third, we're back in the Champions League.
Okay.
And then you sign Donny van de Beek, and then 3 guys on deadline day that, like one you said is a charlatan, and the other 2 are younger than me.
We've had some bad windows, man.
So, but that's what I mean. So then you're like
bad windows.
Darmian, we can go.
Not even just the players that we've brought in. It's more so like
the amount as well.
The last minute. Oh shit, we can't get him. Let me bring back the Beacon. Oh no, we can't get striker. Come with us. Come. It's just like
we were speaking about Josh King at one point.
Igalo, much as we love him.
Yeah,
we've been through it, man.
So it'll be what will be interesting now, and I guess I'll go to your question after that. Is it will be interesting to see how John Murtaugh and Richard Arnold work as a tandem. Richard Arnold obviously now like the new chief exec.
Yeah.
John Murta being like the new director of football of sorts. It'd be Fletcher is that as well. Anyway, forget that one. We'd be interested to see how that relationship works and how we do with and it doesn't look promising so far with the Frenkie thing. It doesn't, but I don't know this club, man.
But it's like that's why I've always said you need a manager who's gonna go and say, I have to, because they're gonna let me down. I have to be able to stand on my own 2 feet and say I'm not gonna let myself down. Because we can sit here and say we've spoken about 2 people here, and we've said the club's let Pogba down. Pogba's let the club down. The club's let Ole down. Ole's let the club down. He's with his own mistakes, and that's why he's not in the job anymore.
Right.
So we need to be able to have someone, because that's why I've always said we're going to get let down one way or another. There's going to be summers where you think we're ready to explode, and we're not going to get the players we want to get in. So we need to have a manager who's going to stand there, look in the mirror, and say, okay, I'm not going to let myself down. I'm going to keep these standards up to the point where they have to give. We can't go 3 summers without players. Where we have to get to the second summer, and then okay, I've survived the first summer. I get to the second summer. Now I can buy my players.
I'm gonna ask you a question, and it might have fucked up your.
No.
Frenkie de Jong. Do you think we should continue with this facade of chasing him when he does? He clearly doesn't want to roll. He doesn't want to roll. He wants to stay there.
Should I tell you? Me personally, I'll give it to that.
Well, yeah, that was the
question.
Who we thought should come in or has to come in.
Painfully, yeah. And it's a thing where it's like, I know we want signings in. Everyone around us is making signings. I know it. I know how it feels to be looking for news on socials and thinking, snap, Arsenal signed someone. Spurs.
They're making some moves, by the way.
You get what I'm trying to say? Arsenal signed someone, Spurs signed someone. City just snapped up best ones, promising strikers in the world. Liverpool just... So I know, but Ten Hag ain't an idiot. Let's be real here. Yeah, we know the club always lets managers down. I'm sure he knows that. You get what I'm trying to say? And if he doesn't, he's going to learn very quickly. You see what I'm trying to say? With De Jong, reports keep coming out that there's no A, B, or C. That's going to either hinder him or it's going to help him. And for me, I'm just willing to just wait and see. So he really wants De Jong. That's what we're seeing. That's what we're hearing, yeah?
Yeah.
So go on. Listen, I'm at the point where I'm tired of all of this, like, managers and da-da-da. I just want to get behind the manager. I like him, and I think his philosophy and what he's done in the past is good. So if he's telling me that, or if the journalists are coming out and saying he really, really, really wants De Jong, he thinks there's a deal that can be done, Barcelona journalists are telling us, and Barca are still going to sell, it's not shut down. Why is it not shut down?
Basically, wait it out.
So I'm happy to keep going for that, but I still want us to be thinking of if we don't, you know what I mean, get him.
Do you not think we should have gone in for... It might be a weird question to ask because I know there's some things on his name. Basuma, do you think United should have been in for him? Because apparently I read today that they were looking at him, but they weren't really committed on it.
Of course.
Yeah?
But obviously, like you said...
Yeah.
And we've already got
one
of the...
Yeah.
So I understand why maybe
there's some
it was we weren't even... Yeah. So, but if we're talking footballing wise, 1,000%. And
25 mil.
And for that fee...
Yeah, we would have had to pay 35
though. Yeah, probably 40.
Yeah.
Probably 40. No joke.
Yeah. But to answer your original question, a lot with United right now, there's a lot of gritted teeth everywhere, you know what I'm saying? So it's... I hear what you're saying.
I'm scarred as well.
But it gives me, now that it's dragged on for so long, saying he does, let's be honest, he doesn't want to be, it's not that he doesn't want to come, he just rather stay at Barca.
It gives me Di Maria vibes.
And, like I was going to say, same old, we've been here before.
Gives me Di Maria vibes.
And I don't want to be making the same mistakes. I don't want to be in 2 years saying...
This is going to sound so cliche, yeah. I don't know how you guys would feel. I don't want players that don't want to be at the club. It sounds cliche. It sounds top red. It sounds passion merchant. It sounds come on you Reds. But it's like with anything. I don't want people around me that don't want to be around me. I don't want to work with people that don't want to work in my environment that I'm working. I want players that don't want to play for Man United.
Especially now. especially now when the squad's so broken. You're gonna get another guy in who's
You're
I won't say half-assed, but he's like he doesn't, like you said, he doesn't really want to be
I'm
there.
flattered. Yeah, okay, you're flattered. That doesn't tell me anything.
Doesn't
You
tell
ain't giving me your number. I don't care if you're flattered. I want your number.
To rebuttal that, do you not think there's a chance though that, remember, he still has a fairly long contract, yeah, that's one. Two, he does feature in that Barcelona team. There's young G's around him. Like, if I'm him, I'm thinking, bro, I'm a baller. So you like why should I leave? Do you get? I'm hot. It's hot country.
Because you're not wanted.
Yeah, but Xavi wants him, bro. That's the reports that are coming out. It's economical. It's economical, bro.
So he's wanted.
But yeah, I hear what you're saying. It's economical, but they are seeing him.
Yeah, because there's no one else that there's no one else of value. Who else is of value?
I hear it, but for me, I will still take offense to that.
Yeah, of course you
Because
will.
I, as Frenkie de Jong, would want to think
I can get
I'm not
better.
even looked at. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, when it comes to people we want to say, oh, no, he's indispensable. He needs to stay.
Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say. That's how you will react. Everyone's different. Some people don't take violations the way other people take violations.
How would you react to that?
I'll react the same way. But De Jong clearly still loves loves Barca and still wants to be there. He still wants to. You get what I'm trying to say? He still wants to. But at the end of the day, he has not 100% closed it down. There's interviews where he said, I want to stay. There's interviews where he's like, I'm flattered.
Yeah, he's give me a number. I don't care if you're flattered.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to text you if I don't have a number?
So let me ask you a question. If he comes now, and in the interview he gives, he's like, it was really difficult for me to leave Barca, but I want to take on a new challenge. I want to be part of Ten Hag's rebuild. Don't tell me you won't be singing Sweet Caroline.
He's smiling, man.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I hear what you're saying.
It's a small part of the rebuild, but yeah, it's a nice part.
Of course, it's a very important part because our midfield's been dire for years.
So you forget whether he wants to come or not. Do you think that's a sign we have to make? Not that area. Frenkie de Jong.
I do. I'm being honest with you. I'm looking around the market right now. I'll let you answer. Sorry.
No, bro. It's a free-flowing convo. Don't be silly.
Do you get? But it's like he's a baller, man, and it's about his comfortability in possession for me. That
you've seen the best of him?
No.
No, I don't. I generally don't.
Ajax under who?
Ten Hag.
That's part of the reason.
And that's the only reason. Yeah.
That's part of the reason.
That's the only reason where you're like, okay, this is a bit different. It's not like Di Maria. He never played under Van Gaal. So it was against his wish.
It's a complete mismatch.
He just won the Champions League. He was the man of match in the Champions League final, and now he's going to United. And they're not even in the Champions League. So then you're like, okay, it's a bit. It's a bit weird, and this is the only reason where I'm giving it kind of a buy, because normally I'm just like, I don't want to make the same mistakes. I don't want to keep buying guys that don't want to be here, but we do have the fact that he did play under Ten Hag.
Yeah.
So even if that's the reason, even if you want to play for the manager, okay, at least you want to do something with regards to Man United.
You can't.
And his best football, like I said, was when he played for Ajax.
So a couple of things. Firstly, United should have enough people and enough eyes in the footballing world to have profiled various options in case this doesn't come through. That's how it should happen. If I can't get target A, I should be able to look at target B of someone who's of similar skill set, if not the same, or higher, and say, I want that guy. That should be the first thing. Fair to say? Mm-hmm. But the most important part is that we get people in that the manager wants. There's nothing worse than bringing in a player for the sake of bringing a player in. Or bringing in a player that isn't going to bring the same thing that manager wants. Because at the end of the day, if I'm Ten Hag, I want a centre midfielder or an 8 that is comfortable dribbling the ball forward and can pass the ball and retainable, but it's also going to do the hard yards going the other way. Or if I want my number 6, we call it a 6 in I want my 6 to be able to receive the ball back to play on a half turn, to be able to pass the ball from side to side, break lines, play the ball into pockets. We have to be able to facilitate our manager the same way we expect Ten Hag to facilitate the players. If the club don't facilitate him,
Long day.
How do you expect him to succeed?
It'll crash and burn again.
So, if he really wants this guy,
That's the reason why I'm kind of laid back. That's the reason why I'm not really like, nah, man. Let's look for other because let's be real here. We start pre-season in about 9 days. Do you think he doesn't know that he needs a rebuild? Do you think he doesn't know what he saw last season? He was there for Palace, for God's sake. So it's clear to see, not clear to see. For me, I'm confident he knows the job that he has at hand. And with him chasing De Jong for however long, he must have a plan. I would like to think.
now which areas do you think he's gonna
Strengthening.
If we say 3 signings, right?
I think 4.
You think we're gonna make 4?
That's me being hopeful.
Okay, how many do you think we're gonna make, bro?
3.
Which areas do you think we're targeting?
Midfield. 2 midfielders, I think we'll do.
What's kind? Box to box?
I think we'll sign Frenkie de Jong.
Ericsson rumours are ringing off.
Yeah, but
That's why I
they're
say 4.
Okay, so the free transfer, right?
But then, would you count the Derby youngster that we're looking at as well? That apparently we're trying to.
Right, Wazza loves him. I've heard really good things.
Yeah, same.
I spoke to a Fulham fan yesterday. Apparently, tore.
One of my young guys that's played with him said,
Yeah.
Whatever you, yeah.
So if that's
yeah.
No, don't count that.
don't count that.
Because that's another 3.
That's a cheat.
That's another
yeah,
free.
It's a cheat. You can't count that.
Alright, cool. So I think we'll sign a centre back 110%.
Okay.
You heard? Listen, I think we'll sign a centre back.
Who?
The rumours were that
I think we'll sign. And for me, I'm not really 100% about him, but I think we'll sign Pau Torres. Just because he has a release clause, it can be done quick, swift. No one needs to be involved. I'll contact La Liga. Done. So you get what I'm trying to say? That was the same thing with Arsenal this week, no? With the fact.
The look on your face is jokes.
Yeah.
Well, with Pau Torres,
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
He's a fan.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Okay.
The problem is now, though, I don't think the makeup of Pau Torres and Varane.
Yeah, same.
That's
I
my
think
only
Timber
problem.
is more. He's more aggressive. He likes to his presence. You know what I'm trying to say. I think that's a better fit. I think Pau Torres and Varane is still feeble. Do you get what I mean? Like I need an aggressive.
And then add to that David De Gea.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Recipe for disaster. And I'm a fan, and I'm a fan to the point where I wanted him last season. To the point where I wanted him instead of Varane.
Oh, word.
Yeah, we've had some battles there. Trust me.
Not because I think Pau Torres is the best thing since, but I saw Varane coming. I saw it from a mile away. What we've seen this season didn't surprise me.
Fatigue gay. Yeah, he looks fatigue gay, bro.
It didn't surprise me, but that was at a time where Maguire was obviously playing well, and I thought
off the back of the Euros, yeah.
Pau Torres coming in, that is maybe a better balance. Whereas now, Varane is probably our main centre half, and bringing Pau Torres into that, like you said, with the hair bit, I'm not on it.
Then
And
Luke
maybe
Shaw-
that's why.
Luke Shaw's a feeble Sutton as well.
Feeble youth.
Yeah, man. He's a bit of a coward, man.
It's a
Luke
feeble
Shaw.
youth, man.
Don't wrong. I think when he's on it, bro, he's...
It was like
I
he
don't
was
even want to
saying.
talk about him. I don't.
It was like he was saying. He got COVID. Bruno got COVID after him. Bruno came back before him. Shaw was missing. Season.
He might have had long
Shaw
COVID.
done.
He might have had long COVID.
He was. That's the last thing we've heard. You know.
No, he had some injuries as well.
Yeah, they took the metal out or something. Yeah.
He's had some bad injuries.
So for me personally, I think
3 areas, yeah. So 2 centre-mids and a...
Centre half.
no. Actually, I think we'll get 4. That's me praying though. That's me on my
and
knees.
Christian.
I don't think we'll get
You don't
Christian.
think we're
you
going
know.
to do Christian?
I think
So
Spurs
do you
will- I
think
think-
we're not going to do it, or do you think we... do you think we want him, or do you think he won't come?
I think we want him. I think we put in a bid for him.
So you think he won't come?
I think he'll go Spurs instead. Comfortability of London.
Oh, yeah.
I heard that.
Comfortability of London or Brentford.
For
He'll
me,
stay.
I
I don't
think
think.
they won't go over that. I think we'll overpay.
What's overpaid though? Because you do know what Barca want is 68 million euros. I mean 68 million pounds. You know that, right?
Yeah, and I
That's
think
8 million euros,
I think we'll spend more.
So what's that equivalent to
Yeah.
euros? Like 8 million?
80 million euros or something
Yeah,
like
you
that.
know we'll probably do that. That's gonna
Is that overpaying though? 68 million for De Jong? Is that
No.
in
I think
pounds?
we'll pay more.
Nah,
I
man.
think we'll pay more than that. I don't
If
think,
I won't surprise me, what am I
don't-
talking about? I won't surprise
But
me.
the fee is less of the issue. The fee can be that will be sorted itself out. It's a 2 thing. He has to want to come. If he doesn't want to, he can sit his contract out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So yeah, you don't have to be.
He doesn't have to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm trying to say to you though. If we get him, It's because he's accepted.
he's open.
Okay, that's the reason why I'm still open to this little saga. It's annoying because we faced it how many times, bro? We faced it with Sancho, for God's sake.
That's my boy, man.
You see what I'm trying to say? We faced it with Sancho, but I'm still optimistic that Ten Hag has a plan. We're hearing he wants to start the rebuild with him. That's specific.
That's specific. The reason why I think he will come in. I think we'll pay more than the suggested 68 million. I think Christian Eriksen, because of just how player, we've lost Mata, free. I think it's just it's an easy deal to do. He will be a Ten Hag player. Outside of that, I don't think it's diabolical that I think this is happening, but I don't think we'll get another centre mid.
Yeah. I do still. I think we'll get 2 centre mids, a centre back, and a winger, and that's it.
Who?
As in the winger.
No, the other centre.
I think we'll get Anthony. Pau Torres, De Jong, and a DM. Call it quits. DM. That's something that I can't even tell you about because we've been linked with Sangari, we've been linked with all these guys. I actually have no clue.
I don't think. I think the 2 central players, if we want to call them that, will be De Jong and Eriksen. I don't think we'll get another. Centre.
So then that means you must think in your head that Donny's going to play a massive part.
He'll play some part.
He'll be.
He'll probably do better than we've seen.
And I'd agree with probably the winger. We'll get a winger in, whether that be Anthony.
We need a winger.
We need a left-footed winger, for that matter, in my opinion.
It all depends, versus which Rash we get.
Yeah, but even if we get the Rashford that we saw this season, we could have Sancho on the left and Anthony on the right. We can have Ahmad on the right, Sutton on the left. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So, I think we need a... Ahmad on the right. Potentially, you never know. You never know. Ten Hag might like him. You know what I mean? He might. We might have Garnacho on the.
But this is the problem. I can't. You're telling me to name you.
That's what I'm saying. It's a difficult one.
So God
still
knows where they're gonna pluck out from.
Question. Are we talking Bruno or Sanch?
Okay, yeah, cool. So the question I want to ask you is, who do you think could hinder us this season?
Bruno Fernandes, bro.
Why?
Because alright. I'm even smiling, so I can't talk properly. Let me
you settle down because you're gonna need it.
I hear it.
You settle down.
Bruno Fernandes. Alright, cool. The year he came in, he came in at a time where we were on the ropes. So we were struggling badly. I'm sure we were way at the top 4, maybe 7th.
Yeah, way out top 4. Yeah.
Would you say he carried us to top 4? It's just yes or no, then continue.
So you weren't going to let me get there.
Alright, cool, go on. Alright, cool. Alright, say that.
You asked a leading question.
It's touchy.
No, that was a leading question.
Alright, cool.
What else can I answer other than yes? Of course he did.
Cool.
Yeah, he played a very important role.
Okay.
Lots of free kicks and penalties.
Okay. I'll let you have that. No, I'll let him have that because I want to hear what he says next season where he got 18 in the league. Go on.
Lots of free kicks and penalties. Anyway. Alright, cool. So he got us to top 4, brilliant. The year after was probably our best season. When we finished second, right? Europa League final. He played a very key role in that. And he was the main focus. Everything went through him. Whether it was him scoring, assisting, everything went through Bruno. Ronaldo comes in. You're not the focus anymore. You're not. Everything's not going through you. How do you react to that? Firstly, you still play the same way. Still playing the same insane. I'm gonna give you 2 games that I showed me he's insane. I think he's got CTE. I think he's crazy.
Yeah, he's got something wrong with him.
He's not well. Even off the football team.
Yeah.
The way he acts on the pitch is not normal.
Yeah.
Right. So the first game was wasn't Norwich. It was Watford when we lost 4-1. Mm-hmm. When he just booted the ball.
The one he loves. The half. The throw in.
He didn't look.
Yeah. No. It's we've seen it many times. They do the throw in. He's obviously got his back to the guy he wants to pass to. And obviously it's the right back on the other side. The throw-in comes in and he thinks he can just swivel on the volley.
It's come off many times though. Just saying, it's come off many times.
You can't tell me that guy's normal.
Anyway. It happened at Palace. And then no one watched that game, so obviously, but Watford, we were there. I don't know why you still love him.
Raw.
Continue.
What are you saying? You got someone to give you some ammo?
Yeah, I'm finally.
L4, he's got someone to give him ammo today. That's why you're excited. Go on.
Anyway, But yeah, I feel as though when Ronaldo's coming, firstly, he's not the main focus anymore in terms of how we play. Or the ball has to get to Ronaldo as quickly as we can. The way he plays football to me is insane. So don't get me wrong, high risk. He's a high risk, high reward kind of footballer. So when it comes off, you're gonna, yay. But the rewards were so diminishing in this last season, and it showed in terms of the lack of goals, unless there were set pieces, and his assist died as well. Again, you could base that upon the way the team played, but as someone that should be a key part of the way we play, someone that transformed our season 2 seasons prior or a year and a half prior, how do you go from that to that? As someone that should be one of the fundamental parts of the team, to me that's crazy. The way he turns the ball over is insane, bro. It's crazy. Like high risk, high reward, I can support to a degree, but I think he takes the biscuit. I think he takes the piss. I like technical security. I like people that will take risks with the ball as well. I'm like, come on, we live in the end. We love the players that are going to do that pass that might not work, but boom, or the step over, the chop, the sorrow. I love those players. That's why I love Sanch. But I feel as though he could be a hindrance to 10, to answer your question. I just went on a rant about him for no reason. He could be a hindrance to 10 because of his lack of technical security in regards to looking after the ball and being a possession-based team, where 10 might want him to make that square pass, to pass the ball back, to make that other pass, he'll want to do that pass straight away. So instead of passing the ball to Wan-Bissaka, you might then give him the ball back, and in that time, that gap's open because you've drawn someone else in and that pass is on. He'll be like, you know what, that gap is so there. It might not, he might not make it, but he'll try and do it anyway. And again, we have to appreciate the players that like to take risks. We have to, because that's what football is. Yeah. But I feel as though he takes it to another level, and I feel as though he could be hindered. But
do you think Ten Hag can?
That's what I'm gonna get to. I feel as though, as the coach, you're looking at Ten Hag saying, "Can you speak to this guy? Can you coach this guy? Can you get this guy to come down to? Can you meet him in the middle at the bare minimum?" So you're gonna want to get the best out of him and say, "Bruno, can you take those crazy, insane CTE risks? But also, can he be someone that's going to be..." Do you know what, yeah? So, under Carrick, I feel as though those 3-2...
Yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah.
Especially when he came on as a sub against...
Villarreal.
That was someone like... Yeah. That was a Bruno, and I'm like, you know what? I can work with that. But if I talk on Carrick anyway, Carrick was our manager of the year. Shout out my guy,
Carrick. Cool. So you think he might be in hindrance? That's the answer to the question.
Could be. But
so yes or no? Come on, let's come on, man. Ooh. Stick your neck on the line, because we're gonna revisit this.
Yeah, okay, cool.
And I've got a lot to say.
So does that mean I get to revisit? Yeah,
110%, 100. Come on, man. You're a lifelong guest here.
Friend of the show. Yeah.
Come on, man. Membership.
Hindrance or not? Based upon what I've seen, I'm gonna have to say yes. This isn't a caveat to protect myself. It's a caveat just for general purposes. It's a caveat where I feel as though, however, my expectation is Ten Hag. If you're a good coach, you can coach anyone to play in a particular way or meet them in the middle. So my expectation then would be 10. I don't trust him, but I trust you. Make it happen, kind of thing.
All right, cool. Let me reply.
No, but surely that is fair.
If I speak, you'll know. Done. So cool. Let me walk you down memory lane quick.
Maybe 3 minutes apparently. So
yeah, cool. Let me walk you down memory lane. Under Oli, what was Oli renowned for saying when he came out after post-match interviews, press conferences, etc.? He kept saying, yes, we know Bruno gives away the ball a lot, but we give him the freedom to do that because we know he's the kind of player to unlock defences. Did I agree with it at the time? No, it was laughable. No player should. What are you talking about? Freedom to do all of this stuff, and especially when you're giving away the ball a lot. I didn't agree with it. He knows I didn't agree with the way Oli had him.
Bruno got worse as it went on.
Do you get it? I didn't agree with the way Oli had him catapult in presses, doing all of that stuff.
I didn't even speak on that.
You get what I'm trying to say? So you could talk about all of this stuff about Bruno, which we all know. Everyone has the general consensus you have, but for me, I remember the way Bruno was when he came in. I remember the season where he got 18 goals in the league. I even remember this season where he ain't even had a good season and he's had top assists in the... Hold on. Let me finish. Let me finish. I won't forget the fact that he's had top goal, top assist in Champions League this season and all of that stuff. Listen, Bruno's had an awful season for his standard. For me, I don't believe Bruno can feature in the side if he's going to do what he was doing the seasons that we've seen. But do I believe that Ten Hag can get Bruno under his wing and say, yo, if you want to feature in this side, my brother, you're going to have to pattern? Yes, I do. Because Bruno, for me, has the quality. If we're talking about quality, the flicks around the corner, the insane passes, there's compilations of how much balls he's put in and Rashford and Cavani and them man have been missing, bro. People forget that. People only remember, oh yeah, he done that assist in that game, What about the times where he's doing it constantly through a game and our defenders are missing? Burnley, the Watford game. Bro, I can give you games for days. Do I believe Bruno is a problem? No, I do not. I believe there's many other issues than Bruno. De Gea, for example, Maguire. There's way more problems than Bruno. And the thing about...
what you're saying is that we have numerous problems.
Yeah, we do.
He is potentially, or is one of them. So we've basically agreed.
No, I don't know. No, I don't think. No, I don't think he's a problem.
It's fine. We've agreed.
I don't think he's a problem. I don't think he's a problem. I don't think he's a problem because even this season, even this season, if you want to say, yeah, Bruno is, he still produced some numbers. So can he be worse than this season? With what he's done this season,
I don't expect any of them to be as bad.
To end it.
Expectations. It has to be.
No. I mean, to end this one, do you think Ten Hag will
get the best out of him?
No. Yeah, but do you think Ten Hag is going to stop him from being a hindrance?
I would expect it from someone.
No, yes or no, man.
No, because
yes or no?
No. It's not expect.
No, because we all expect it because we hope he's gonna do the best.
No. It's not. I hear what you're saying, but there is some players
you can't coach. Yeah, no.
Is Bruno one of those players?
Is he coachable?
Oh my God, it's actually up for discussion. I actually can't believe it. We're moving like Bruno's 29.
Yes. Your answer's yes. Alright, cool. Your answer's yes.
Is he coachable?
Oh my days.
I'm gonna say. My gut wants me to say no.
Then there we go. That's it.
Say no. See, stick your neck on the line because I'm loving this.
We'll get back to it.
Don't worry. We're gonna say no with your chest. Don't try.
Hey.
You see what you tried to do? Yeah, you tried to do the chest thing. You tried to emasculate me. It's fine. I'm comfortable. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm easy. Let's round up.
Say that.
Last one, and I want straight.
Yeah, cool.
What is a successful season?
Top 4. And maybe like.
Does that mean Europa League and 6th, or just top 4?
Top 4 with a cup. That's.
So if we finish 6th and win the Europa League and get Champions League that way,
is that successful?
Of course it is. For me,
it's an element. Yeah, it's an element of success. It's not the success that I would expect for. But you know what? I'm gonna say I don't think we will get top 4 based upon where we look now. But success would be top 4. If we win Europa League, you said that? Yeah, it's a cup. Take it. And you get Champions League success. Yeah, it is.
What do you think we're gonna get?
We'll finish 5th. I don't think we'll win Europa League. I'd be lucky if we can get a cup. That'll be alright. Just based on now where we look. If you look at the team, we lost. Well, not anyway. Over to you, bro.
Top 4.
Do you think we're going to get top 4? That's a success.
It's me being optimistic. The fan I am, innit?
You think we're going to get top 4?
I think we can. If we can get signings,
honestly,
if we get the signings that I think can add to the team, I think we can get top 4. We can't be worse than this season, bro. And even this season, bro. Listen, I get anyone that's pessimistic about our chances. If we don't get top 4, am I going to be surprised? Of course I'm not. Do you get what I'm trying to say? For me, it's between 4th and 6th. Optimism says 4th.
I respect your optimism. I respect your optimism throughout, to be honest with you, because I've top 4, absolutely no chance. And I think we have to put all our bets in the Europa League if we want to get Champions League football in a year's time.
Say no more.
Wow. And yeah,
that's alright.
Before, honestly, if I get a team come May that actually you can see what they're trying to do, we get a team that are actually playing for each other. You get a team where I go to an away day, I'm actually proud to go to that away day. That's enough for me.
Fair enough.
And that's how bad we've been. and that's how low we've got, that's my expectation for next season, and I'll be happy. But like I said, with regards to the squad and the pace these signings are coming in at, Europa League football is our best bet. And
No,
I think
don't
we
get me
should
wrong.
put all our eggs in that basket, because what Spurs are doing and the other 3 teams who I think are a level above everyone else, absolutely no. And Arsenal, by the way, absolutely no chance.
No,
So
don't get me wrong. If we end today, we're probably getting 8th.
I know, but that's I'm thinking about the summer's gone as well.
Okay.
But yeah, that's another video on Feel the Play TV. I've enjoyed that. So
Very good.
Man.
thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Pleasure, bro.
We'll re-wrap on that Bruno one. See who was
Yeah.
right, see
Yeah.
who was wrong.
We'll come back to it,
And
man.
you don't want me to come back? It'll be a pleasure.
Come on, man. 100%.
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you. And T,
Another
as
one.
always,
Chopping
another
it
one
up.
off. But yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. You know how it goes. Like always, we'll be back next week. Peace.